Or not, not
Yes.
yet? Yes. Can you tell me what is a prepositional phrase? Will we understand what is that?
Of phrase.
Yep, a prepositional phrase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to.
I am not hard. Um,
468. So what is a prepositional phrase? Tell me.
I I think it's about a preposition of time,
Ah,
and we say yesterday preposition of place.
okay, but what is okay? You're telling me a preposition, but
Yeah.
what is a prepositional phrase?
I am not the definition.
No,
I
you
am.
have no
I
idea.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know the definition. Sorry.
You know the definition? Can you help us, Isaac? What is a prepositional phrase?
Okay. I am reading.
That's
No.
great.
Okay.
That's great.
I don't know how to define it. I think that it's a group of words
Uh,
that modify the noun or that no that provide information about the noun or
yes. Information about the
the
noun or the.
verb could it be, or there are like the others, the adverbs.
Sounds like that. Kinda. Okay, let's go again. A prepositional phrase is a portion of information.
Mhm.
I think the word portion we should put it together all the time. We are talking about portions. The noun phrase is a portion of information that represents a noun. The verb phrase is a portion of information that represents the action. And the prepositional phrase is the portion of information that represents the location of a
Okay.
noun.
Okay. The
Location
preposition.
or time. Let's call it like that. Location or time of a noun. We are going to talk about the definition. A prepositional phrase, location, here. A prepositional phrase is a group of words that together comprise the location, time, or movement of a noun. Location, time, or movement of a noun. For example, if you see the text that we were analyzing the other day, we will say that in the first sentence, this is not a list related to NSO group. Related is the verb. The list is related to NSO group. This portion of information, the connector to, and the noun NSO group is considered a prepositional phrase. Why? Because we are relating the list and the group, right? Something very important that we need to understand is that prepositional phrases are precisely indicated by a preposition. Right? By the way, phrasal verbs are not included in prepositional phrases, okay? That's a different thing. So let's talk about position and location. Prepositions of location. We have, for example, on, in, under, over, next to, between, above, around,
Behind.
behind. What else? Etc.
At is a prepositional.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. In, on, at. Under, over, next to, etc. Position, location, and I will add and time. And time of an app. We're going to use that information. And time of an app. Okay. All this is for location and time. So we have in, on, at, under, over, next to. They can be for time, they can be for position. They represent both. And for movement, do you know what is a preposition of movement?
No, could it be while?
No, that's a conjunction.
Okay,
No,
no,
movement.
then I don't know.
Think about a car. Okay? The car moves. Imagine it's going from a highway, right? And it's going to a particular destination. The preposition we use to talk about destination is?
From?
Well, from and to. Well, I was thinking about to.
Okay, to.
Right? The car comes from a principal destination and it goes to a different destination. That movement is represented with a connector to.
Okay, yes.
That's the reason we need to include movement too, because the first list is when the object doesn't move. You see? The first list is when the object doesn't move. The second list is when the object moves. So we have from, to, towards, over, onto, into, through, past, I'm out of ideas.
Teacher, what's the difference between in and into?
That the object is moving.
Okay.
So you cannot say, I am going in the car. That's incorrect. You are going into the car because you are going. You see?
Yeah.
What is surprising about this is that prepositions, be careful not to confuse them with adverbs of place, because precisely place and time. Because if you talk about the location of something, you will probably face an adverb and not a location, a preposition. The difference is that they are going to talk about the verb and prepositions are going to talk about the noun. So let's talk about this. Adverbs of place and time. Let's put this in purple. They represent the position, location, time. Let's put it as a comma. Position, location, time, and or movement of a verb. All time now. Oops. Need this. So never confuse these adverbs, adverb phrases with prepositional phrases. The division is going to help you, no? It's going to help you understand. But here I'm going to show you that they are very similar. Adverbs of place and time. Look at this. You can have expressions like, ooh, that's a lot. Let's make it bigger. There. Near, there, here, somewhere, inside, outside, ahead, top. These words are describing place and time. And they can also help you understand, but they help you understand the verb. You can group adverbs similar to prepositional phrase. Adverb phrases will start with these examples. And prepositional phrases will start with these expressions. Did you get the idea?
Yes, but it's I think that's a little confusing because I feel that those groups how to say belong to the same family.
Totally, they look similar
Yeah.
because the function is the same. The function is the same, but our surprise, they are actually very, very different due to the word they are describing. At the end, it's not necessary to identify if it's a preposition or if it's an adverb. But it's important to understand that if it's a place and if it's time, etc., there will always be a word that can help you identify these phrases. And they start with what we consider connectors, no? Between quotations. Sometimes they are not connectors, sometimes they are adverbs.
Okay.
That's the issue with these words. So let's try to find them. Okay? In this list, there is not a list related to NSO group. And NSO does not have any target lists. The list is derived from services. Tell me, according to this logic, Isaac, is this a prepositional phrase or an adverb phrase?
Positional phrase or another phrase. The list is derived from
Derivative pronunciation.
the I don't know how to pronounce the derived.
Okay, let's go to the dictionary.
The derived
Derive.
and derived and then
But if it's ed, how do you pronounce an ed when the word ends in v?
I don't remember with derive.
Exactly.
Derived. Derived. Okay.
Derived. That's correct. So the one time.
Derived. The list is derived from services such as H&R lookup. This open free to anyone name of the from services. Well, I think that according to the things that we review, it's a prepositional phrase, but I'm trying to understand why.
Okay.
Prepositional. Okay, the list. I think that it is like, well, this from services, it's related to the list
Mhm.
where it comes from. So that's why it's a prepositional phrase and not another phrase.
Where the word comes from. Uh-huh. Which is another phrase?
No, a prepositional phrase, no?
A prepositional phrase. Well, that is actually correct, partially for the reason you said,
Mm-hmm.
but also because there is a collocation. Every time you use derived, you need a preposition from. Remember that some verbs have
Yes.
specific prepositions together.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is a prepositional phrase, including all the rest of the information.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Bless you.
Thank you, thank you. The word such as is similar to say for example, and it's similar to say, well, it's like an extension
Mm-hmm.
to the prepositional phrase. Actually, we can consider this an adverb phrase because the definition that we have of adverbs is this. Number 3, to introduce information. For example, currently, specifically, firstly, finally, secondly, additionally, and for example.
Okay, yes.
If you look for such as in the dictionary, you will see that it's an adverb.
Okay, so we have the prepositional phrase and also another phrase.
And it's very often like that.
Okay.
That's good. Good, good, good. Next, let's go through Jesse, which is open and free to anyone online. Let's read this section and find the phrase that we are looking for.
Yes, which is open and free to anyone online. Which is open and free to anyone. I am not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah, okay, yes. In fact,
What again?
I think it's a prepositional phrase.
It's a prepositional phrase, and what section? What section is a prepositional phrase?
Free to anyone.
Exactly. To anyone, incomplete. To anyone online.
Wait.
All this. You see? So you are almost correct. When you find the connector to, don't separate. Well, like the connector to is, in this case, who is it free to? Right? And the
Yes.
word online is a description of anyone. So these words go together. When you are listening to the video, you need to divide the segments in this way. You know? Like what is the person trying to speak about? You got it?
Yes.
Good. Good, good, good. Now the next one. Isaac, find the phrase in this case and tell me, is it prepositional or adverb?
What the NSO group said in a statement? Okay. NSO group said in a statement. Okay, okay. I think that is also a propositional phrase and in a statement. Yes.
Oh, spoiler?
Sorry?
Sorry. I
No, no
gave you
worries.
a spoiler. Crap.
Yeah, so no worries. It was my answer.
It was your answer anyway? Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Is where the person said that. I would say that this is also looks like an adverb because we are describing where he said. So we're describing a verb.
Yes,
But
actually.
uh-huh. But they look very similar. At the end, doesn't matter. They are very, very similar. The point is to be able to join these words together as a unit.
Okay, yes.
That's gonna take me pronouns and questions answered with phrases. I'm gonna help you with a new lesson. I'm gonna for the next classes because I think it will be necessary. But anyway, okay. Next, NSO group will continue to investigate all credible claims of misuse and take appropriate and let's keep it over here. In these lines, you see, you have two phrases of this type.
Yes. NSO group, sorry, will continue to investigate all credible claims of Masus. I am not sure. Masus.
Okay. Okay, we
Claims
need
of
to understand this word. First, we need to understand this transition.
use.
Exactly. To
Yes.
use something, right? As a noun, use is the act of using something. If you use something incorrectly, you are giving a
Misuse.
exactly.
Misuse.
You see, it's like abuse. It's to use something in a dishonest way.
Okay.
Let's try again.
NSO group will continue to investigate all credible claims of misuse. Sorry,
Okay. Yeah, I like
of
it.
misuse.
Exactly, much better.
Will continue to investigate.
Sorry, there is only one. I thought there were two, but there's only
Yes. With yes for two and off.
exactly.
Continue to investigate all credible claims. I think is credible claims of misuse.
Credible claims of misuse. Credible claims of misuse. Incorrect, because credible claims are nouns.
Yes.
Actually, the noun phrase is all credible claims. That's the group that you should be dividing. Like this. All credible claims, this is blue.
It's the noun.
And it's a noun.
Yes.
Here we have continue to will continue to investigate is a phrase, verb.
Yes.
That's the reason the connector to is not a prepositional phrase, because it is connected to the principal verb.
Yes. I said credible claims of my use is a preposition of phrase, but it's incorrect.
Prepositional, not preposition of. Prepositional.
Prepositional phrase.
Exactly. And the word credible claims of misuse is taking information from the previous group, and you need to separate this information from the prepositional phrase. So what words are extra in your answer?
Of I I think it's only of my use.
Yes,
Of
but
misuse.
pronunciation?
Misuse.
Misuse, exactly. Of misuse. This is a prepositional phrase.
Okay.
That is correct. We need to take a little note about connectors of and to. I think connectors to and of have no preposition of. Let me check. According to Macmillan Dictionary, used for saying who or what has a particular feature, aspect, or quality. We were impressed by the size of the building. This connector always gives me a problem because there's no category for this connector. You're talking about type, you're talking about feature, aspect, or quality. Belonging and possession, this connector is super difficult to teach, but it's a preposition. So let's take it as a number 3. Don't forget of. Specifically of. Okay? So good job. Finally, we have the rest of the paragraph. Help me with this, with the phrases that you find here, Isaac.
Okay, in Mexico, the administration engineers office
No, the next line after misuse.
after misuse. Oh, and take appropriate action based on
Pronunciation.
the appropriate appropriate
The stress. Where is this? The strong syllable.
appropriate appropriate
It's in the
appropriate
second.
appropriate
You are accentuating the first one. It's the second one. Appropriate.
appropriate
Exactly. Appropriate.
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 Exactly.
Okay.
More time.
And take appropriate actions based on the result of investigations. Okay. I think that it's on the results of these investigations is a prepositional phrase.
Very good. All of this.
Yep.
That is correct. There you have it, guys. You understand what we are going through. In the next paragraph, I want you to analyze all the different phrases that you can find.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go through this. You have the information here, and all the phrases in the next paragraph. Let's take this one. Okay, let's begin with number one. Jesse, what is the first phrase that you can find?
Of NCO group.
Of NCO group, but now in general, not focusing only in prepositions.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of them, all of them. The first phrase.
Like the verbs and
Exactly, including nouns, including
okay,
all.
okay. Attorney General's office. It's a noun.
Attorney General's office. That's not the first one. Yes, it is, but it's not the first one.
Mexico
Exactly.
Defense.
Watch out, it doesn't say Mexico.
I am not sure.
Yes, you're sure? Just observe. You have an apostrophe S. You cannot ignore the apostrophe S.
Mexico.
And the apostrophe S?
Mexico's.
Exactly. Mexico's. Mexico's what?
Mexico's. But this is a verb, defense.
Oh, don't confuse it with defend.
Okay, yes. Okay, Mexico's defense. I am not sure. Ministry.
Okay, have you seen Harry Potter?
Yes, but not in English.
Not in English?
No.
Dude, you have not watched that in English? Oh my god. That is your homework.
Is it in HBO?
It is. Actually, HBO has all the saga.
Oh, that's great. We don't have HBO.
That's why. Very well. So pronunciation, girl.
Ministry.
Ministry, exactly.
Ministry.
The Ministry of Defense.
Okay. Mexico's Defense Ministry. I think it's a noun.
That's it. Very good. You are correct. All of this is a noun. Excellent. Then the next one, Isaac.
I think it's also a noun, no? Attorney General's office.
Okay, you are very, very close, but you didn't tell me what's up with the word and.
And yes. No, I don't know what happened with that.
What is the name of connectors that you use in between ideas or clauses or phrases?
connectors that you use.
Connectors of ideas or phrases.
Mhm. Conjunctions.
Correct. The word and is a conjunction.
Okay.
All the connectors that you use between phrases and sentences and clauses are called conjunctions.
Okay. Conjunctions and the noun.
And the noun, exactly, Attorney General's office. So you can see two entities connected with and.
Yeah.
Right? Good job. Jesse, what's the next phrase?
Mm, 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 mm. Okay, where is a verb?
What is a verb?
Um, clients.
Pronunciation. This is not Spanish.
Uh, clients.
Excellent.
Clients of NSO group. It's a noun.
Yep, I like it. This can be analyzed in two ways. This can be considered. This can be considered a noun, clients of
Mm-hmm.
NSO group,
Mm-hmm.
or it can be client's noun and prepositional phrase of NSO group.
Okay.
I really recommend that you consider the connector of as part of a noun phrase, as you said.
Okay.
This is much better because look at the next word. The next word is under. No? So the next word you can separate better if you consider that the principal connector is under and not off.
Okay.
Okay, so we are very close to the answer. Isaac, what is the next phrase? We helped you a lot.
Um, yes. I think that it's a prepositional phrase with the
In what part?
under the previous administration. Sorry?
You are very
Sorry?
close. I mean, what part? If you say that administration is the end, you are incomplete.
Oh,
Mm.
ouch. So we are using the same logic with the of.
Exactly.
So then it could be under the previous administration of President Enrique Peña Nieto.
All this is a prepositional phrase.
Okay.
That can help you understand the text better. If you read it again with the colors, it's better, it's easier to understand. Mexico's defense ministry and attorney general's office were clients of NSO Group under the previous administration of President Enrique Peña Nieto. It's more clear
Okay.
to understand, no?
Yes.
That is the magic of phrases.
Yes. Okay.
Uh-huh. And it's not necessary to add commas, and necessary commas, and sometimes the vocabulary is not necessary to understand. Probably I don't know what is NSO group, no, but or ministry or attorney. I don't know what is attorney, but I understand that we are talking about the previous administration.
Yes. Yes, actually.
We are getting to know phrases. According to the Guardian, what type of phrase is this?
Mm, I'm not sure.
Mm.
Is according working as a verb? According to?
No, because a verb needs a
No,
subject
right?
always.
Yes. Okay.
You were gonna
Then
say,
I think that Jesse has the
Jesse was
answer.
going to say something.
Mm,
What was your idea?
I think it's I, I am not sure. I think it's mm, let me see.
Mhm.
Yes, I think it's a prepositional phrase, but I am not sure.
Well, according to, I think it's together and it's a preposition. Uh-huh. You know why the comma exists here?
Mm, no.
We have a comma to separate two prepositional phrases, precisely.
Okay.
That's precisely the usage of commas in English. Very different to the usage of commas in Spanish.
According to the word phrase, is it was the subject clients of NSO group under the previous administration on the Wikipedia according to the word. Okay.
The Guardian is a newspaper.
Yes, I know it.
That is the key.
Okay, the last part was a little confusing, but yes,
Was it really?
yes,
Yeah.
I feel like this.
Yeah, that's because the word according to, sometimes some prepositions have double words. According to, there's another one that is despite of.
Oh
Despite
yeah.
of is considered a preposition together. It's not separated. According to is together.
Mm-hmm. And it's a,
Despite of.
okay.
Ah, no, in spite of. Ah, no, it's dispose of, despite. Despite is preposition. In spite of preposition, but it's considered only one. Well, it's considered an idiomatic expression in this case. Well, you got it. According to is a preposition for. I don't remember another preposition that is considered two words together, but if I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay. But that was interesting according to.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Real English, guys. All right, we finished for today. Good job. Excellent class. I will see you tomorrow. And thanks for the wait, as always.
No worries, it's okay.
Thank you. See you
we
later,
are
guys.
always we are always late too.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Thanks, see you.
I'll see you later, guys. Bye
See
bye.
you, teacher.
See you.
Bye.